Well, hey there everyone, and welcome back to UTubeFoundry. I'm Richard, and what we're going to do today is we're going to go into one of my classrooms and we're going to explore the topic of 4 things that can make your video process much better. So let's just go to the front of the room and see how it's done. Okay, before we get started, I want to list the 4 things that you need to do to make your video experience on YouTube much better. So let's just go to the board and see what those are. So first, we want to do our research, okay? You have to do good research. Now, research is not just about learning about your topic, but it's also learning about what your competitors are doing. Second, you've got to have a good thumbnail and a strong title. Third, you've got to have good content. And fourth, you need to engage with your viewers. You do these 4 things and you should have a much better experience on YouTube. So let's go look at the details for each one of these. So let's talk about the different aspects of research. First is going to be knowledge. So knowledge is not just what you learn or what you already know. It's also what you're willing to go out and learn. If you do some research and look at some other videos on the topic before you actually start making your own video, you're liable to find some areas where maybe you were wrong. Maybe you can find some areas where you can improve upon what other people have done or said, and you're going to seem more of an expert on the topic. And that's what you want to appear to be to your viewers, is an expert. The second thing that you want to do is you're going to want to be correct. Now, this is really hard because often we'll be speaking and we'll just say something wrong and we don't even know it until after we go back and look at the video. So one of the things you should do, and I'm guilty of not doing this as often as I should, but one of the things you should do is every time you do a take of a video, whether it's just a piece of a video or a whole video, I want you to go back and I want you to watch it before you go on to the next part of your video. See if you said everything the way you wanted to say it. Make sure you said everything correctly. Sometimes I know I've got things switched around in my videos. I'll say the wrong thing and then I'll have to go back and put a note up. Wait a minute, what I just said was wrong. I really should have said blank. So make sure you're correct and check your video to make sure that everything you're saying in that video is in fact correct. Now the third thing I want you to do is I want you to look at competitors, okay? So you can go into the studio portion of YouTube and look at trends and then type in keywords, and it'll bring up different videos that people are doing on the same topic that you're doing. You want to see what it is they're doing. What are they saying? How long ago has it been since a video like this was done? Is it even a video that people want to see? It may be a cool topic to you, but every video that's been done had no more than 100 views. Well, if that's the case, you're probably wasting your time doing the video, unless of course you just really want to do the video. But it probably won't get any more views than those who've done it before. So go and research, see what other people are doing in this same space so that you can sort of not copy it, but you'll know what's being said and you'll know what's working and what's not working. That's going to be really important, and it's also important when we get to the next one, which is thumbnails and titles. So the next thing I want to talk about is your thumbnails and your titles for your videos. These are really crucial. These are the first things that people see. If you don't get the thumbnail and the title right, people may never click on your video. So I'm going to do separate videos on how to make good titles and also a separate video on how to make good thumbnails. So I'm just going to hit the high points here, but I want to talk about how important these are. So you want your thumbnail, okay, your thumbnail needs to grab attention. Now, there's a lot of things you can do to get it to grab attention. It can be shocking, it can be an interesting photograph, it can be great colors, it's something that stands out, something that draws people's eye to that thumbnail, and so they'll take an interest in it. Then what you've got is the title. Now, the title is going to get them to click, okay? So what we know is that the thumbnail grabs the attention, The title gets them to click. So you want to make sure and really work on those. And in fact, you probably want to do the thumbnail and the title before you even start recording the video, because the thumbnail and the title is going to guide what you do your video on, because you want your video to match what you set up in the title, right? So you're going to tease them a little bit with the title, tease them a little bit with the thumbnail, and then deliver the goods when you actually have the video. And actually, you're going to want to deliver those goods in the first 30 seconds if you want to keep them around longer than 30 seconds. And that's the goal, right? As we've said before, the unicorn viewer is the viewer who will subscribe, they'll watch every one of your videos, and when they watch a video, they watch the whole thing. That's the kind of viewer you want, but you've got to grab their attention first, and then you're going to have to get them to click on that video so that you can get a view. Okay, so the third thing you want to do is make sure and make great content. Not good content, but great content. Now that takes work. I'm still working on it, trying to make truly great content that meets my standards. I haven't gotten there yet, but I've made a couple videos that seem to do pretty well, so the content must have been pretty good. So what are the different characteristics of good content? Well, the first thing is you've got to learn how to tell a story, right? And you've got to learn to voice inflect, you've got to learn to speak clearly, you've got to learn to speak, I think, with good diction. When you speak with poor diction and poor grammar, people are going to tune that out a lot. So you want to speak with good grammar, good diction, you want to be clear with what you say, and you want to make sure and speak up so that people can hear it. Now, aspects of that are going to be, you've got to learn how to storyboard, okay? Now, storyboarding is similar to taking notes, but it may actually be sketching out what you're going to say and when you're going to say it and how you're going to say it and how the story is going to go, whether you're telling a story or doing a how-to video or whatever. You need to be able to put that together in a story. You may film different elements of it and then move those around in your editing process to tell that story well. Now, the next thing you want to do is make notes, okay? Now, I don't know if you can see it in the video, but I've got down here in the tray here, I've got some yellow paper. These are my notes. I can refer to these notes as I'm doing the video to make sure that I'm still on track. Have notes so that you don't try to remember the whole thing. I'll also tell you another hint. Don't try to do it all in one take. I did that when I first started, and doing things in one take just doesn't work very well. You tend to make a lot of mistakes. You tend to do a lot of ums and uhs. I've tried to eliminate some of those. I still do some of it. But what you want to do is have some notes with you so that if you lose track, you can sort of go back and regain your track. And you can edit that out later. Now, the next thing you want to do is what did I say? I said, oh, I see what it is. There's a blooper right there, right? I couldn't read my own notes. You want to use different angles in your video. So you want to change the angle up a little bit, and I've done that a little bit here. You want to sometimes get close to the video so people can really see you. Sometimes you want to stand back so you can do stuff, but you want to have good camera angles and change those camera angles. Do some cuts so that sometimes the video is in a different position. That will help people maintain their attention and their interest in your video. Okay, see what I did there? I just changed sides. I moved to the other side, I did a cut, I changed the way I did the video. So the fourth item that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to have a sharp visual. This is going to mean having good lighting. I've got a ring light over here that's giving some lighting because this room's a little bit dark. You also want to make sure that your camera is high quality, that you're getting the best video you can. I originally started out doing my early videos using my iPhone 11 Pro. And honestly, that camera is not nearly as good as the camera that I'm using now, which is my Sony camera. I'm hoping when I get an iPhone 16 Pro, the camera will be much better. I'm told it's much better. The visual will be much better. It won't be quite as grainy as the 11 Pro is. Now remember, for me, 50% of my viewers on my other channel are watching my videos on a TV set, which means it may be a large screen TV set, which means it's really big. So I need a really good quality video because they're going to blow up my face really big. They're going to see the whiskers I miss. They're going to see the scratches on my face. They're going to see other things I might not want them to see. And plus, the text that I put on the screen is going to get blown up. So if it's pixelated, it's not going to look nearly as good. Now, the next thing you want to do on this is you want to make sure you have good sound. So I'll show you a clip of a video that I did recently, and I want you to see what's interesting about it. Hey there everyone, and welcome back to Cowboy Survival. I'm Richard, and what we're going to do in this video is take a look at the fire kit that I carry in each one of my backpacks. So when you watch that clip, what you noticed was only the left channel was working. Why? Well, it's because I had done something to my microphones, and I had cut off the Bluetooth to one of my microphones. So only the left channel was recording and the right channel wasn't. You notice I wear both my microphone here and one here. That way I get both channels, so the sound is better. I also am using Rode mics, so those mics are pretty good quality. I may be stepping up to a newer quality mic soon, but these are pretty good quality, and I get pretty good sound out of them. Much better sound than I get out of my big microphone in my office, or better sound than I get off of my iPhone. So make sure you have good sound. And finally, you want to have some graphics. Now this may be cartoons, it may be arrows you draw in there to draw attention to different things, whatever. Now one of the things I do, not only do I put some arrows and circles in here, and there you go, one's flashing on the screen right now, right? So anyway, but I also have started using AI to create cartoons and visuals for my videos to make those better. So you may have seen some of those visuals that I've done that I do. The visual for the thumbnail for this video was in fact a visual that was done for me by AI. So I was able to build that visual using AI because it's not something I have the capability of doing. I'm certainly not an artist. So those are what you need to do, some of the things you need to do to make sure you've got better content. Now let's talk about the fourth item, which is engagement. Let's talk about engagement for a minute. Now, when I talk about engagement, I'm talking about the interaction that you have with your viewers. Now that's primarily going to be through the comment section, okay? Now, there's other things you can do, like for instance in your title or in your call to action in the video, you can actually engage your viewers. Okay, those of you out there who are my age and who go out camping, let's hear from you. Okay, that's the kind of thing that is a call out to my audience, and it's also a call to action. But the comments that you get in your videos is going to be measured by the algorithm. The algorithm likes that. It's a sign that people are liking your video when they're engaging with it and they're commenting. Now, the way you encourage more comments is, first of all, ask for comments in the video, but there's other things you can do. So one thing you need to make sure and do is have, as I said, that call to action, okay? Make sure and have that call to action in your video. Now, another thing that I would like you to make sure and do is I want you to do this. I want you to read all comments. Now, honestly, initially, you're not going to get many comments. Those comments are going to be few and far between, and when you get them, you're really going to like them, right? Now, some people might not like you, but most of the comments I'm going to tell you are probably going to be pretty complimentary. Hey, I liked your video. Hey, I'm new to your channel. I really like your content. Hey, I have a question, that kind of thing. So read all of your comments. The other thing I want you to do is I want you to respond to comments, okay? If it's no more, even if it's no more than saying, thank you for watching the video, you should respond to every comment, good, bad, or otherwise. You should respond positively to every comment. Encourage your comments, encourage your viewers. Don't get into an argument with any viewers. That's going to look really bad and very unseemly. But you want to make sure and respond to all those comments and have that response in there. Again, it may be very simple, but sometimes it's going to help you to get more subscribers. It's going to help you to build relationships with your viewers. I've got several of my viewers that watch my videos over and over and over again. And I comment on when they comment on my videos, I respond back to them. And then finally, the last point I want you to do is I want you to make sure and check your email and answer emails. Now, I want you to be careful with emails, and we'll do a separate video where we talk about this. You're going to get emails not only from viewers, but you're also going to get emails from companies that want to do deals with you, or companies that look like they want to do deals with you. Be very, very careful, because sometimes those videos or those emails are fake emails. They're trying to draw you in, get your information, and then they're going to scam you in some way. They might even try and steal your channel if they get enough of your personal information. So number one, this is why we said right at the beginning, have a separate publicly facing email for your account that's not your main account email. Okay, you've got to have that separate email. So when people email you, that's the email that they're going to use. Second thing is, never click on an email that you didn't know, you don't know who it's from, or you didn't ask for it, okay? So be very careful with these emails that come from companies and you don't know who's sending you an email. The third thing is, if you get an email from a company that looks interesting, I got an email from a company recently and it looks like an interesting opportunity, I am not going to respond to the email. What I'm going to do is I am going to actually go online, find the contact information for the company online, and I'm going to contact them that way. I am not going to contact them using the email address that was sent to me. Okay, so those are the 4 things that I think everyone should make sure and be aware of in order to have a more successful experience on YouTube. Now, a lot of these, I'm going to have more detailed videos, particularly on thumbnails and titles, but I want you to make sure and recognize and always do those 4 things. Remember, we want you to make sure and do your research. You have good thumbnails and good titles. We want to make sure that you have great content, and we want to make sure that you engage with your viewers. Those 4 things are really, really critical. Now, if you liked the video, click on the subscribe button below and make sure and give us a thumbs up if you really liked it. And then also click on that notification bell so that when we have new videos come out, you'll be sure and be notified. In the meantime, stay on YouTube and stay safe. We'll see you real soon right here on YouTube Foundry.